Salute to all the Patreon members, all the subscribers, all the new viewers. I want to thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you could do me a favor, check out the link for the Patreon page in the description box below. All the Patreon members, I will have a new video posted up tonight. I posted up a brand new video last night, so you guys will get another video tonight. All right? So check that out. Let's continue with the video. So over there on World Star Hip Hop, there was a video posted up about a brother who lost his traditional wife to the streets. And he's from America. He's originally from Detroit, Michigan. She's from Kenya. Okay. This video right here was recorded in Kenya. And I'm going to let the video play. And then I'm going to give my 2 cents. I'm going to play the video twice. For those that don't know, my name is Splashway Beats. I've either been living or traveling abroad for the last 16 years. I'm actually going out the country again tonight. All right. I just got back yesterday. I'm going out the country again tonight. I've never been to Africa, but I've lived in Asia on and off. Well, actually, I lived in Asia from 2014 to 2022. So for about 8 years, I lived in Canada for about 5 years. All right. And I've been traveling to South America lately. And there's some points that I'm going to make about this video because this channel, for those that don't know, has been around. This particular channel right here has been around since 2017. And I'm going to say what I've been saying since 2017. All right. So let's just play the video. I'm going to have to mute the video in the middle because there's some music and I don't want y'all, I don't want the algorithm to pick that up, but let's go.
Yeah, we're in Chinatown in Kilimani, and I'm here with a very, very interesting couple. They have a channel called US Meets Kenya. I'm gonna allow them to introduce themselves, starting with the lady first.
Hey guys, I'm Faith from Kenya.
Okay.
And I'm Keith from USA.
Yeah, and this is our baby. She's called Serenity.
Yeah, she's adorable. She's adorable. Okay, so, bro, where are you from in the States?
So I'm originally from Michigan, from Detroit, Michigan.
You from the D? Okay. We'll be out here.
Okay, so I got to stop and pause right there. This video seems like they just got married. They're feeding each other the wedding cake. Looks like there's a bit of, they got chemistry. Right, she's feeding him. So you would assume that they have chemistry. They're doing it for the camera. All right. Got a baby together. This man flew all the way to Kenya to meet what he thought would be a traditional wife. They have a baby together. And I think I didn't read the description. It was soon after they got married. Okay. So look at this part right here. Now she's right. He got it. That looks like an Omega watch. Okay. That looks like that looks like an Omega watch right there. Pinky ring. What kind of vehicle was that? Rolls Royce. All right. So she leaned to the side to show the headrest. Where did she find him? She leaned to the side to show hey, get the headrest. You see what I'm in? All right. Pinky ring, Rolls Royce. Holding hands while he's driving. I've done that plenty of times before. Women want to hold your hand while you're riding. Okay, they in a golf caddy. She got a nice purse. Makeup. Still got a crooked wig on. He carries my handbag too. All right, I'm assuming it's an older gentleman, an older Caucasian gentleman. Excuse me, I'm a little sick. All right. This was shortly after. It wasn't that long after. They said this was like a year after they got married. All right. So she left that brother in the dust. She left that brother in the dust. So you can clearly see that she looks totally different without makeup. Right. Hairline, fresh face, looks totally different. The natural looks totally different. The makeup and everything, the hair. All right, but hey man, she bossed up with somebody else, opportunist. And this is something that I've noticed over the year that's been changing. This is why it's kind of like if you want to see how things go in the future amongst women and dating and relationships, you got to look at women in Canada. Because when I first went to Canada in 2009, I noticed that white guys were getting into relationships with women who had black children, right? Whether it was a black woman with a black kid, which you kind of rarely see that in Canada, but it usually be with like a non-black woman with a mixed kid from a black man. And I'm like, damn, you don't see that in America. Like at one point in time, I was like, American Caucasian males in America, they're not taking care of mixed kids or black babies like that in America unless they adopted them, right? But I noticed that in Canada back in 2009, and now you're starting to see this unless they just having fun. That might not last that long, but I've been seeing that here and there where white guys, they get into relationships either with black women or non-black women with black children. But this is what I want to say, man. This channel has been around since 2017. I've been on YouTube since 2013. 2013, when I came to YouTube, I talked about how, hey, man, I'm a black man in Canada. This is how women treating us at the time. You know, this was like the Facebook days. This was before Instagram and Snapchat and everything. Women were really choosing in the Midwestern region of, no, I take that back. I first came to Canada in 2019, but I made a channel in 2013. So Instagram had already popped off at that time and Facebook had already been around, excuse me. But I talked about my experience in Vancouver, you know, all over British Columbia, all over Alberta, all over Saskatchewan, and it fell on deaf ears. Nobody cared, right? So I just deleted the channel. Then I came back out in 2015. Then I deleted that channel. Then I made this channel in 2017, and a lot of videos are hidden or either deleted. All right. Because I just felt like, hey, man, let me just hide some of these videos because I just want to clean some things up. But I said back in 2017, I still got the videos to prove it. At the time in 2017, I was living in Thailand. And I already been there for like 3 years at that moment in time. And I was telling the audience, I said, hey, man, a lot of you guys in the spaces are talking about, well, I want to go over to Thailand. I want to go over to Japan. I want to go over to Korea. I want to go to Asia to look for a traditional wife, right? To look for a traditional wife, marry her and have a traditional family, just like the good old days. And I said, if you're trying to come over to here to Asia to look for that, don't come over here. That don't exist. All right. Women will get into a marriage with somebody if you're saving them. You know, if they're a single mother of one, single mother of two. And then at that moment in time in 2017, a lot of the Caucasian males, they were starting to get duped. They were starting to get finessed. There were married guys who had been married to their Thai wives for, I don't know how long. And the women over in Asia, I said this back in 2017, a lot of these women are playing the long game. I pulled up uh, receipts from ThaiVisa.com, Tiger.com, all these articles at that time talking about how women in relationships, marriages, they were in marriages with some of these Caucasian males and been in a relationship, a marriage with them like 4 or 5 years. Finally found, or got access to the joint bank account. They know the combination to the safe in the house. They know, okay, he has gold bars in this safe over here. He got coins. He got cash in this safe. And the moment he steps away to go back home for a little while, right? Hey, I'm gonna go back to Germany for a little. I'm gonna go back to France, or I'm gonna go back to Poland for a little while and visit my family. Do you want to come with me? Oh, I got this, and a third to do over here. I'm gonna stay behind. These guys would be like, okay, I'm gonna be gone for only 2 weeks. I'll be back, honey. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And the moment he steps on that plane, they call up a cousin or their baby daddy from the northern part of Thailand, from their hometown. And she like, hey, he got a Ducati. I don't know how to ride motorcycles. I know how to ride scooters. I don't know how to ride motorcycles. Come down here, get this motorcycle, bring a bag. We're going to crack open the safe, get the gold bars, call up your cousin. We're going to take the truck. And I got access to the bank account. I'm going to empty it, and we're going to get the fuck up out of here. And we're going to take our kid back home, right? So a lot of men, I was starting to see this, where men were either getting robbed by their wives, they were getting set up by their wives. I've seen a lot of guys crash out in places like Thailand because they thought they had a traditional woman, and only to find out that they got robbed by them. All right. Same thing with brothers. Brothers, they think if I go to Asia or if I go to Africa, I'm going to find this traditional wife. They don't think like the women over in America. Bullshit. They just haven't had the opportunity. Right? They're opportunists. This woman right here is an opportunist. Okay? You bring her to the land of capitalism, what you think she's going to do? Because you might have enough money to go to Africa. You might have enough money to travel back and forth, go to Africa, and, give a couple dollars here and there, pay $60 for the rent, a couple dollars for food, take care of her. Okay. But soon as you bring it to the land of capitalism and you see, okay, damn, you see, okay, damn, like, okay, all right, you drive in. What is this? You driving a 2010 Nissan Altima Z, right? This guy over here, he driving a 2024. He got a screen. He got a digital screen on the dash, and he has a digital screen on the inside of the dash in his ride. You don't have a digital screen. You have an analog screen. Why is that? He got leather on the seats. You don't have leather on the seats. Why is that? Damn, we in the D? This is Detroit? This is where you from? We got to live here? I've only been here for 6 hours. I've heard I've heard gunshots since I've been here on 3 separate occasions in 6 hours. This is where we got to live? And where you work again? At the plant. Nah. Nah. I'm going to call her my cousin from Africa. She going to post up a profile for me on one of these sugar baby websites in America. I'm just going to put the word out there that I'm in town. All right? I'm going to put the word out there that I'm in town. And then he looks kind of a little bit spiritual. Brother looks spiritual, like, ancestral. Got all the African bracelets and the beads, right? And you doing the right thing, but I'm telling you, like, if you want somebody that's traditional, you don't bring them back to America. Now, here's the thing. I've always said a good woman, there's a good woman anywhere. But in our eyes, in my mind, a good woman, most of us wouldn't classify a good woman as an opportunist, right? An opportunist isn't a good woman to us. Remember, a lot of these women, no matter where they from, they could be from Africa, they could be from the Caribbean, they could be from South America, they could be from Canada. A lot of these women, they want to strip you away from your child before the child has its earliest memories. So the baby ain't even old enough to remember none of this that's going on. The baby, when the baby gets old enough to have its earliest memories, when they get older, they're going to be like, hey, look, my parents, since I could remember, my parents have never been together. Now she got stars in the ceiling, digital dash, pinky ring, Omega watch, right? We at the golf club. They look like they're on the West Coast somewhere. Talking about he hold my bags that he bought. All right. And you know what? In the future, you never know what this is going to turn out to be. Right? It's like, man, I'm having my fun. She young. I'm going to drop her and replace her with another 22-year-old later on. Right? And then she going to have to find a new lane. She going to have to find a new guy with a bag, because baby daddy, hopefully mentally, he said, hey, man, I'm not fucking with this no more. Who's this in the comment section? What's going on, Scant Dollar? I've always said that a good woman there is a good woman anywhere. But, when I went over to Asia, I didn't really see what men were looking for. All right. I gave the dating market a chance in Asia. It wasn't what you guys think it is. Right? It's not what you guys think it is. Now, as far as women selling it, a lot of women were selling it in Thailand. It's like damn near almost everybody is for sale in Thailand once their looks run out. All right. But as far as, meeting a traditional wife, I didn't see that, especially in a place like Thailand, where they said that 60% of relationships over there, the women, 60% of the people out there are engaged in infidelity. So there's a 60% chance you get with a woman, she's gonna cheat on you or step out for money. Right? Somebody got a bigger bag, they're gonna go with them. Or somebody got better drugs, they're gonna go with them. In Thailand, it's the same thing around the world. People have a phone. All right. In the economy that we in, people looking for the come up. All right. If I have the opportunity to get some M's in my bank account, or, if I have the opportunity to get a comma in my bank account with 6 digits in there, I'm going to go if the opportunity is there. And regardless, man, shit going to run out with that person too. So she probably going to end up on some reality TV show on whatever network, fighting other bitches, talking ratchet. And you're going to look back and be like, damn, this wasn't the woman that I met when I went to Kenya. All right. Soon as you go from one rich guy to the next, and then that shit runs out. Now it's kind of like you don't want to work. Now you're used to not working. So now it's like Now it's like you degrading yourself in order to get to the next bag, whether it's getting on a network and fighting other women, twerking, getting naked, OnlyFans, right? Most of these women that are on these shows, I can't believe they're still around right now. It's like, baddies or whatever. It's like you got to come to television or the networks with an OnlyFans. They already come to to these places with an OnlyFans. All right. Just left Phuket. They all going. Yeah, they all going. How long was you out there for? I've never been to Phuket. I only been to Pattaya and Chiang Mai. Right. But in the back of your mind in today's times, it's like, hey, look, I'm gonna enjoy my time with this person while we can, or I'm gonna pay to rent her time, this time slot that I have with her, and enjoy it. But man, like this man, he thought he was getting a wife, right? You end up playing an immigration officer. You end up being an immigration officer sponsoring this woman, getting her paperwork right. Now her family will thank you. I don't remember his name, but her family will still pray for you because you just changed the course of their lineage. That's what you did. This woman came from generations and generations of struggling in Kenya. And now the mother, regardless of how you feel, they'll pray, they'll thank God for her. Because they'll say, hey, she's the golden child, and they'll thank God for you for sponsoring her. Thank you, God, for making my daughter good enough for her to find this American man and finesse him. So now the rest of the future of our lineage will spend the rest of its eternity in America. Right? They don't have to go to an open market outside with a bunch of flies, fruit, and meat sitting in the sweltering heat with all that debris flying in the air, right? They can buy food from the inside of a grocery store and it's all sanitized. That's a totally different experience. From buying all your food from a market, now you buying it from a store. You buying it from HEB. You buying it from Kroger. This man just changed the course of their lineage. I told you guys back in 2017, don't come out here to look for a traditional wife. It's not, no, all right? No, don't do it. And, if you wanted this kind of love, you could have just met an immigrant over here in America. But, a lot of immigrants that come over to America, they're very materialistic, some of them, right? You might say, hey, the women who come over here from other countries, they're not like the women over there. Yes, because they're poor, right? Poverty brings humility out of a person. Poverty brings humility. Y'all happy? Y'all think y'all family? Look, I found me a traditional woman. As soon as she got exposed to Vegas, LA, San Francisco, Miami, right? It's starting to be Montana while you bullshitting. New York City, DC, Houston. This woman leaned to the side with the double R in the background on her seat. I watched this video about a year ago, and she said in the very beginning that she didn't like him at first, so she avoided him on Tinder. This is all his fault for getting with a woman like this. It's a lot of brothers' faults for getting with women like that. When a woman tells you he wasn't, like, I was trying to avoid him at first, he wasn't my type, man, believe them. Believe them. Because For y'all to end up like this, it's like somebody got into her ear, or she finally woke up and said, you know, mother gave her game, father gave her game, her sister gave her some game. Oh man, this man keeps trying to match with me and super like me on Tinder. You know how you pay $3.99, $4.99 for the super likes? This motherfucker won't stop super liking me. Somebody from her family told her, where is he from? On his page, he's from America. Bitch, you better like him back. Do you see where the fuck we live at? Do you see where we live at? Do you know how far we got to travel to get water so we can rinse out the toilet after we take a piss in a shit? We don't have access to running water in this house 7 days a week. We don't have access to electricity in this house 7 days a week. We don't have air conditioning like he does. We got a broke down fan that we all got to huddle in front of during the day in this house. Bitch, like him, give him what he want, go back to his country and find somebody better and get us all up out of here. Or send back money so you can upgrade us. Right? It'd be cheaper for her to find a rich dude to send him back. Well, I mean, she found a dude, right? It'd be cheaper to find somebody with a little bit of paper and send it back home and upgrade their life than to just bring them all over to America. And she found her rich man. So, look, man, that's the name of the game. We all know this. I don't know how old he is. Seems like he's in his 20s, right? But, you know, but he looked like he's probably in his late 20s. He's probably, what was like 98, 99, 97? Brothers like him are very hard-headed. You can't talk to, my brother's the same. My brother, yeah, he's a millennial, but he was born in the 90s. Them 90s kids, especially the 2000s, they're very, very fucking hard-headed. You couldn't talk to him. He had all of the information from men saying, hey, don't do this. Man, I've seen guys in America get finessed by Filipinos, Korean. I've seen all kind of guys bring women from Asia, from Africa over to America only to get finessed. All right. The only ones that kind of like stay together are people that are much older. But even then, like brothers who were like in the military at one point in time, you know, they met their wife in like the late 70s, early 80s, got married, brought her back from Korea, brought her back from Japan. They're not together no more. They split. I know a bunch of examples like that. Wife breaks bad, right? Makes up shit about, no, this is my culture. This is how we're going to do things now. And that's not her culture. To run you off, right? So I want to like, what kind of relationship he has with his kid now. You know, the CDC says that Black fathers are the most active in their children's lives. You know, I hope he still has a relationship with his daughter, but I know this isn't what he wanted. He wanted a family. You wanted a family, man. You should have just stayed in Kenya, or you should have came back to America, made the money, and then traveled back and forth to Kenya and left your woman there. All right. But the whole idea of family, y'all got to get that out your mind. If you impregnate a woman, you just having kids. That's it. You're not going to be a family. They don't want to give you the glory. All right. They want to have their exit strategy within the first 3 years of that child's life so that the earliest memories isn't the both of y'all together. And I'm mad at my mother for life for tearing us up apart. That's what a lot of women have in their mind. How can I get a baby and get rid of the man and still collect money and do what it is that I do? I knew this one Trinidadian woman. She was traveling all over Asia with her 3 kids, and her 3 kids was by this white dude. Dude was sending her like 5-7 bands a month, right? In child support. While she off traveling from Taiwan to Korea, to Japan and Hong Kong, and taking all these trips with her kids and stuff like that, right? Damn, and you sit back confused, like, why don't you go back to your husband and be a family? You meeting guys online and then bringing them, you got 3 kids with you, so then you bringing them to some dude's house in Korea that you just met. You got the kids in one room while you trying to get your fuck on in the other room with some random Korean guy you matched with online. And then that's not going good. Y'all arguing. And it's like, damn, you arguing with somebody that you just met. The kids are scared. They're like, who is this guy? And why y'all arguing? They don't understand. Then you go back home and you still matching with guys online, and then motherfuckers pulling up to your spot. Talking about, yeah, let me go upstairs. Let's get our fuck on. But wait, my children upstairs. Bitch, put them to bed. So your life afterwards, after somebody tried to have a family with you and have children, make a home with you, in the back of a lot of women's minds, it's like, how do I get rid of the man and collect the money and do all this on my own and then still get sex, still have sex, still get pleasure from guys at the same time while you got a kid, 2, 3 kids. And guess what? We don't care about your kids. Put them to bed and let me fuck you. And then I go on about my business. So now a lot of guys are looking at situations like this and saying, hey, I don't want to end up like him. I don't want to end up like my uncle. I don't want to end up like my friend. I don't want to end up like all these guys that I'm reading about on Reddit. Okay. I want to avoid this. Some of you guys have been lucky enough to make it to this age to where you don't have any kids. You've never had a marriage. And that's good because you can save, you can invest into yourselves. And you could go to some of these countries and not look for whatever you think you see in this person over here, because it ain't what you think, right? When you see somebody like this with eyes like those, what you do is you give them $20, $30, let me fuck, right? Or, hey, I'll rent you out for 2-3 days. How much that's going to cost? Damn, that's it. All right, here you go. Here's a tip on top of that. Here's a tip on top of that. You done sucked all the hairs off of my balls and everything. Here's a tip on top of that. I'll never see you again. If I'm back in town, I might hit you up, but I'm moving on to other girls, but more than likely I'll never see you again. That's how a lot of men are playing it now. Right? Here's a few dollars, bye. And then I know, well, he probably brought her over before the old law, because now Trump said, under Trump's regime, he said, hey, man, we're not just automatically granting visas for spouses anymore just because y'all got married, right? You from another country, you got married to an American, that doesn't grant you a visa anymore. It's a much more difficult process now. So everybody's not going to get a visa. Everybody's not going to be able to live with their spouse over here. Good. So, man, let me tell you, Women worldwide are about to see a totally different side of men, right? Women worldwide are about to see a very cold-hearted side of men. Women are worldwide are really going to say, hey, man, these men, they don't want relationships no more. They don't want kids no more. Women going to be online crying that men don't want to give them babies, right? Men don't want to stay with them because, man, like at this point, y'all fucked it up. Y'all fucked it up. The birth rate is going down. The so-called nuclear family, traditional family, that's gone, right? You're not about to have communities anymore, and a lot of these damn, why am I drawing a blank? Homogenous societies. I don't know why I forgot that word, but a lot of these homogenous societies, they're about to be multicultural societies very soon. Asia is going to look totally different very soon, right? Asia is going to look different. South America is already a heterogeneous continent. Europe is already a heterogeneous continent. Next is going to be Africa and Asia. I learned all about the games decades ago from Tom Likas. Today's men are slow and just waking up. Yeah, but you know what? It's the reason why brothers were slow back then is because you didn't have access to a lot of examples back then. You had a few, but then at the same time you said, well, I know some people over here, but you didn't know them that well. You didn't follow up with them, right? You have personal experiences of good and you have personal experiences of bad, but you didn't follow up with them. Now, when you look back, it's kind of like, damn, all my partners is paying child support. When I stopped, well, I got to take that back because, when I went to Asia, I gave the dating market a chance because I didn't know. I wasn't privy to it. When I moved to Asia in 2014, the reason why, and I had a conversation with somebody that I know because he was out there in Thailand for about 6 or 7 years. I said, within 6 or 7 years, how many women did you hook up with? And he said about a dozen, but, them little relationships didn't even last longer than about 2 weeks with them or a month with him, right? See, I had long-term on and off relationships with women, but they were very shitty. And the reason why I wasn't out there paying for women's times and just paying for them to go was because I was trying to test the dating market in Asia. See, if I were to go back out there to Asia now, it'd be totally different, right? My experience would be totally different. It would be like how my experiences have been in Panama the last 2 trips this year. It'll be like that, where, I'm seeking the dime and I'm just saying, hey, look, this how much you charge an hourly. All right. All right, I want to go to this rooftop club. We're going to get dressed. You get dressed. Don't talk to nobody else while we out there. And let's go. See, my experience would be totally different now. Remember, when I was in Taiwan, there were a lot of, well, I won't say a lot, but there were several these so-called traditional women, married women that was trying to get with me, trying to sleep with me, talking all this shit about their husbands. But I never hooked up with a married woman ever. I turned them down. You see now women are still married, getting pregnant by other men just to get back at their husband for whatever reason, and it probably all started with you in your mouth disrespecting your husband. Then he one up you. Now you trying to one up him, right? You see married women getting pregnant on their husbands, playing it out. And guess what? Women are congratulating them. Women are congratulating Cardi B for her fourth pregnancy, her fourth baby, by a goofy named Stephon Diggs. And she's still married. Why? Because she's trying to get back at her husband. And he done already had 2 kids this year already by 2 other women. And black women are congratulating her. We're in a totally different time right now. So, man, you should have just paid your little $20, $30 to this woman, and then you wouldn't be having to go through this right now. But I know you're appreciative for her having your child. I know you love your child, but, I know this isn't what men want. Our idea is to, get with a woman, have a child, and then raise the child in the house. Right? But they give full custody to the mothers wherever you go. And then now, I mean, this woman is more vulnerable to predators more than ever, even more than her being pregnant. You're more vulnerable as a single mother than you being pregnant now, because you're bringing your child around all sorts of men who don't give a fuck about your kid. And you hear horror stories all the time about, this type of shit. All right, so I'm going to end this right here. Don't be this guy. Have your fun. And I remember, and I'll have to take blame even for myself. I used to clown people for not being able to get women and not being able to have the confidence to approach women, to, all right, so what? You get rejected, keep talking, keep swinging. I used to be the same way, clowning guys for paying for it. And then when I actually started openly talking about paying for it, now all the people that were around me all these years, they've been paying for it also, but it was kind of like they were too nervous to say something because of how I would respond to it. But I guess now I'm on the dark side, so our tune is totally different. It's like it'd be cheaper to get what it is, what you want out of somebody, and then move the fuck on. Right? At your request. See, like the other day, I was just playing it off in my mind. I'm just like, look, when I get back to Thailand or I get back over here, I'm going to call up a woman, ask for a price, and say, hey, can you cook? Can you cook your cultural dishes? Yes. All right. This is what you're going to do. All right. I'm going to pay you this much. You're going to show up. As soon as you hit the door, you're going to get naked. There's an apron right there on the hook. You're going to cook this meal in your apron naked. Prep me a meal, put that on the table, then I'm going to fuck this shit out of you on the bed. Then you're going to leave and I'm going to eat the food that you cooked. How much is that going to be? It'll be this much. Okay. You can get that, man. You can't, a lot of y'all can't even get that from your girlfriends or your wives today. And you pay all the bills. You would think if a man who's a provider paying all the bills, bitch should be walking around naked in an apron and some fluffy house slippers every day for you. Too much time wasted trying to get silly women to cooperate. Pay to play is way more efficient. All you want from them is top and bottom anyway. Exactly. Now we want a little bit more than top and bottom, but it's we're not we're not getting more, unappreciative. But that's just how it is nowadays. They're more appreciative for them being a come and go. All right. A pump and dump, a come and go, a quick trip. When that cash, bands will make a dance. All right. She's smiling. She enjoying herself. She act like she enjoying herself. Man, I got 2 women from the Dominican right now excited that I'm coming out there next month. Hold on. Y'all want to see the ass? Hold on. Let me show you. Cause I'm like, hey man, let me approach these little online dating apps a little differently. I hit up this woman. I said, look here. Let's get to it. How much I'm coming out there. I'm just trying to fuck this and the third. What are your needs and your wants? What you got going on so I can take care of it? You know what I'm saying? What are your needs? Well, I am going to school. All right. So I need a little help with the tuition. I'm like, damn, tuition, bitch. I'm like, how much is that? She like 9,500 pesos. Man, I did the math. All she wanted was $150. I'm like, for 4 days, right? She like, yeah. I'm like, shit, bitch, I got you. 150 for 4 days. That's it. So now I'm this. She could lose a couple pounds, but hold on. Now I'm approaching this in the DR and Panama. And I gave it the same play. I said, hey, what are some of the foods that y'all eat over there? Can you cook? Yeah. I said, all right, when I get there, you want this much for 4 days, right? Yeah. All right. Well, when I get there, I'm going to buy you an apron. How tall are you? 5'2"? I'm going to get you an apron. When I step foot through the door, drop them drawers, get naked, put on this apron, cook for me, cook that dish for me, put it in a plate, wrap it up, put it in the refrigerator. I'm going to fuck the shit out of you. After I'm done, I'm going to eat the food that you cooked and I'm gone. And I'll be back tomorrow. You're going to do it again. Man, I'm approaching like this. I'm approaching women built like this with money. With money. I got this waiting on me. I got another one. But I don't want to upload that photo or whatever. I got another one waiting on me also. But man, I'm not playing out here. I'm just, look here. How much? All right, $200. How many days? 3 days? All right, bet. Don't worry, I'll feed you. Bet. And whatever YN who's hitting your line, hey man, tell them to chill. Tell them to fall back. You busy with me for the next couple of days. All right. Anyways, I'm over and I'm out. You guys be safe. Be careful. Stop falling in love. Stop trying to make a family. Stop giving these bitches kids. Right? Thank God I'm childless. I'm childless. So I've been doing something right this whole time. I haven't gotten got. Right? And if I have a kid, that kid and that mother, she gonna stay wherever she's at. And act right. She gonna stay in the Philippines. She gonna stay in Thailand. She gonna stay in Panama. She gonna stay in the DR. She gonna stay in Colombia. Bitch, stay where you at. Don't worry about coming over here. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.